Okay, today we're going to talk about finding the percent of a number. One way is to use a percent proportion, which you'll see here in this box. We write a proportion that compares the part to the whole and the percent to 100. And from there you can solve the proportion the way that we've learned how to solve proportions in the past. So if you look at this first example, it says 30 is 75% of 40, and we want to put the numbers 30, 75, and 40 into our proportion. The 100 always stays in the denominator of the second fraction. The easiest number to identify, of course, is the number that has the percent sign. So 75 goes over the 100 because the percent always goes over 100. Now we have to determine which number is the part and which number is the whole. It says 30 is 75% of 40. One little trick that you can use is to look for the words is and of. The part is always the number that's next to the word is, and the whole is always the number next to the word of. So here's our of number, and it goes in the denominator. And then here is our is number, 30, which goes in the numerator. And if we did cross products, we could easily check and see that those fractions are equal because our cross products are both 3,000. So the idea is going to be that one of those four numbers is missing, and you need to find it by using a variable for the unknown value. So let's try this first example. Every single one of these problems will be set up as a proportion with 100 in the denominator of the second fraction. So it says find the missing value using the percent proportion. It says what is 12% of 85? Well, the easiest number to spot is this percent. It goes over 100. Now we have to decide if 85 is the part or if it's the whole. Well, since it's next to this word of, we know that it's the whole and goes down here. We don't know what the part is. We don't know what the is number is. In fact, it actually says what is. So that's where I'm going to put my variable. From that point, you can just use your proportion skills to solve. So I'm going to multiply 100 times x and 85 times 12. You can use your calculator to do the 85 times 12 to get 1,020. And then since x is being multiplied by 100, the opposite operation would be to divide by 100, and we're going to get x equals 10.2. And that would be your answer. For the next one, I'm going to start out the same way by putting my proportion here with 100 in the denominator of the second fraction. Look for the percent first because that's the easiest one, but in this case we don't have the percent, so that's where the x goes in this problem. And then my of number is 40, that's my whole, and 16 is the part, that's the number next to the word is. And from there I'm going to solve my proportion by using cross products and equations. So I'm going to do 40 times, oops, that looks a little messy. I'm going to do 40 times x equals 16 times 100, which is 40x equals 1600. This one I can do in my head because I know 4 goes into 16 4 times. So when I divide both sides by 40, I'm going to get x equals 40. All right, and one more example here using the percent proportion. I'm going to set it up the same way I did all the other problems. %15 is my percent number because it has a percent sign. My of is the thing I don't know this time. It says of what number, that's where my variable is going to go. And then my is 45. And I'm going to use cross products to find the missing number. So I'll be doing 15 times x equals 45 times 100. So 15x equals 4,500. And then since x is being multiplied by 15, I'm going to divide by 15 to get 300. And by the way, the number 2, that problem up here, was asking for a percent. It says what percent. So my answer really should have a percent sign on there, because really 16 is 40% of 40, which makes sense because 50% of 40 is 20 and 16 is a little less than that, so it should be a little less than 50%, so it makes sense. So those are my notes for the percent proportion.